Welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast, the place for everything auto detailing in Australia right now. Here's your host, Dale Guthrie.
G'day and welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast. I'm your host, Dale Guthrie. So, welcome back. Another episode. Something a little bit different this time. So, I've with some things going on as well. I'll explain later. But, bit light on with a guest this at the moment. We're still trying to schedule a few in and bank a few eps. Then it can free me up for a few weeks. But at this stage, none as yet. So for this week, it's all about myself and the podcast and why and what else I do with my detailing business, which is DPG Detailing here in Mount Gambier, South Australia. So thanks for tuning in every week, and a lot of great feedback still, and some good. The podcasts are trending pretty well online, so it's good. It's going really well. So a lot of support, and still always looking for guests, and so we're working on them as well. So we'll keep playing along. So about myself. So I run a detailing business here. I have for the last 5 years as a side hobby, part of my FIFO work that I've done and still continue to do. But in saying that, I haven't done it for the last 9 months. So I've been FIFOing for 13 years, and then I started back into detailing. So where did it all start for me was so my background is in from body shops, from panel shops. Started out as a apprentice panel beater for a local car dealership here in Mount Gambier. So started out there about 16, doing that. Left school at end of year 10, and then went straight into apprenticeship from there. So continuing on, done about three years into the 4-year apprenticeship at the dealership. Wasn't learning a lot, fairly standard front ends for the car dealership, so it wasn't a huge insight into panel beating. So I moved on, went back to my hometown of Casterton, Victoria, which is just across the border from Mount Gambier. So not a huge town. It's only a population of just under 2,000 now. So grew up there, and went back to, my mate was running the panel shop at the time. So started back there, and learned a lot in a very short period of time back then. So detailing. So one of the local car dealership guys come in and was getting some work done, and he wanted some work done on his own car, and said that no one cleans cars. Do you want to have a crack? And I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. So mainly around the paint correction side, that's sort of what got me into it, and then just self-taught for the rest pretty much. So interiors and stuff. So doing that, of all things. So I'll probably get to my first ever job a bit later in our question, so I won't go into too much there. So I was pretty much doing that. Had enough of the panel beating game. Probably about another 2 years after that, threw that in. Ended up going to work in WA on a contract job for about 7 months of the year. So I would work in WA for about 6-7 months on a pipeline contract over there. That's sort of what got me into it. Always chasing the dollar, as we say. And back in the day, young, and we always just thought we'd go over and have a crack and do something different. So was on that contract, and then I'd come back over east and then start detailing, plus work for my dad in the meantime. He had a small earth moving business, so I'd operate equipment there. And then when I had cars, I'd then go and detail, and then next day I'll be back in the earth movement equipment, vice versa. So I'd do that for another 6 months, and then go back over to WA. Turns out in 2008, I ended up staying in WA and started the FIFO job, and continued on ever since. In doing so, then moved back to Mount Gambier from Perth. So I lived in Perth for 5 years, moved back here, and then done FIFO out of here all the way across to WA, which is a full day of flights. So it's 3 flights to site, and I've continued that pretty much the last 10 years. Main reason moving back, my partner at the time, she grew up here, and we met, and yeah, we've been back here ever since, and been married the last few years with her. So yeah, been doing FIFO ever since, and then so it was 5 years ago from now, pretty much. Scrolling on Facebook one day, come across some ceramic coatings, and I think it was Geon at the time, must have been running some ads. So I had a bit of a look and looked into it, Googled where to get Geon in Australia, found out Car Care Products in Sydney was the distributor for Geon. So ordered a heap of products, had a bit of a crack. I've always had nice cars. I was a big HSV fan, had a HSV Maloo, then it went to a Club Sport. So at the time I had a VF Club Sport. So we gave that a polish up and put some coating over that at the time and posted a few videos, and most of my friends knew what I used to do back in the day. So back in the day I was DG Detailing, and nowadays it's DPG due to my wife. So threw the P in there for her. So so we started DPG. I had a few other names running around, but yeah, it went into that, and then it was just doing friends' cars and other cars, and then started getting paid for it, and turns out it ended up being a big business and busy every time. So I'd go to site for FIFO and come home on my week off. So I'd go away to work for 2 weeks, FIFO, and then come home for a week and do detailing. And it's pretty much just come about due to, I'd say, boredom, but so yeah, gives me something to do on my week off, and it is full on. So then last year, so when COVID hit, pretty much we had to reside in Perth for 6 months. So obviously I had to leave detailing for 6 months to go and stay in Perth. So me and my family, so I've got a 3-year-old son, Hudson. So we all had to pack up and all live in apartment life in Perth for at least 6 months. So we did that. Detailing was was put to the side. We did have some time when we did come back, jump the borders, come back, do the isolation gig. Kept the clients happy at the time, and then went back into it. And then we come back at the end of 2020, and then into 21, it was fairly smooth sailing, back to normal sort of thing. Didn't really have any interruptions, except for the end of 21, where the WA borders were closed for anyone entering. So at the time I flew back home for a week off, timed it very well, had a week off, and then they said they put the hard border up and wasn't allowed back to go to work in FIFO land. So no big drama to me. I was loving it. So ever since then, since November last year till now, I've been as they say, on leave without pay, but still on the books. And I work for one of the largest mining companies that we've got in Australia. So worked up the ranks from there, actually. So my time with them was operator, obviously, and then at the time I finished up or put it on hold at least. I was a shift supervisor for a crew of nearly 30. So that was full on. Got that gig at the start of COVID, so I was dealing with all that stuff in the meantime. So it probably wasn't the best time to take a lead role, but is what it is. You take it when you can get it. So that was fairly easy, and I got that offered to me, and it wasn't a hard gig. But once you got into it, it was full noise, plus coming home and detailing and dealing with people in the FIFO role, plus then detailing more. So yeah, in November we went full time and have been ever since till late. But yeah, what I've got coming up now, when I mention stuff's going to get busy, plus I've thrown a podcast in there along the lines. So yeah, we're going back into that. I plan on coming back to detail. I'm still detailing as normal, business as usual. I'm home more frequently, so I'm only away for a week at a time, so to speak, and then back home for another week. So a lot more frequent fly points, and yeah, which is handy. And so yeah, we'll be still doing what I do, but these days it's more focused on pretty much the coatings and the PPF. So I've only just started getting into PPF in regards to bush wraps. So for those who don't know, bush wraps are a Queensland company. They deal in templated PPF for all sorts of modern vehicles, mainly four-wheel drive. So you order the kits for the vehicle and the year and what it has around it. So yeah, great marketing model, and they're booming right now, bush wraps. So when I actually went away and done the training and done all that stuff, so that's been handy because I had zero experience of PPF. Yeah, still a lot to learn. Definitely no expert at all, but getting better by each car. So as they say. So yeah, into that, and that's why I say that shit is getting busy, like I said. So still going to do the pod. That's why I need to bank some episodes in to keep this thing happening and keep you guys listening. And yeah, it's probably not the easiest thing to do and what I put myself out there for, but is what it is. And I'm going to give it a crack and continue it on. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see how things pan out and we end up full time, and I can kick that FIFO gig. So, but we'll see what happens. So business services for ourselves. So we started out like anyone else, doing the wash and vacs and the maintenance details, as we call them. And then you throw the paint correction in. And then once the word got around town about the coatings, so I was pretty much the first one to bring ceramic coatings to Mount Gambier. Not bragging about it, but it's ever since then, there's a lot of other details in town that have jumped on the coating game, which I don't blame them. It's great. It's a great way to roll and earn good coin. So doing that, and yeah, we still do our maintenance details for regulars that have their cars coated and they get them washed every now and then we have just the randoms that will want like a pre-sale clean and stuff like that. And we do a lot of them of late. And then now I'm scaling back a fair bit into only coatings and in PPF. I know some people will cringe and say that's not the way to roll, but with my lifestyle with FIFO at the moment, that's literally the only way to work. And if you want a maintenance detail, I can definitely recommend a few, but obviously I'll keep my regulars, but anything random off the street, yeah, it's pretty much I'm booked out, and I'll let you know of a few other guys in town, because there is quite a lot of details in Mount Gambier now, so we're popping up everywhere, much like everywhere else. So, which is not a bad thing, because we always say there's enough cars for everyone. So yeah, no egos around here. Other than that, yeah, it's just the corrections, coatings, and PPF. So yeah, just sticking to the bush wraps, and we're doing a lot of stuff in bulk and stuff. So, and then we're venturing into the truck side of things. So that's the next venture for us. So products wise, so products we work with, I've only really just stuck with Geon. I am very probably biased against that, but it's only what I know, and I've just sort of stuck to it. But back in the day, we ran the Maguires like everyone did, and then yeah, started with a rotary and ran Maguires, and that's all we knew back then. And my big thing back in the day was the old Maguires Tech Wax. I used to love that stuff and put it on a fine pad and run it over the whole car, and it come with an applicator pad, but we threw that and would put it on a soft pad and hit it with the machine, and the results were crazy for back in the day. That this was sort of 2005, 06 sort of thing. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely don't use that these days. it's mainly all Geon stuff, and even their polishes and pads I just run. It's just easy as a certified installer for them, not because of that, but it's just stick to one thing and then you can just adjust it as the way you go, rather than have sort of 5 other polishes in the cupboard and just run amok and switch around. I just sort of, at least if something's playing up, you sort of roughly know where to go with Geon, and it's probably very similar to a lot of other products anyway online. So that's what works for us. Pad wise, we do mix it up with microfiber and the foam. So haven't dealt with a lot of wool yet, so are interested in it. So yeah, we just work with the DA as well with that. In saying that, I did use a rotary on the weekend on my own car, so that definitely helped. So yeah, and obviously the products with PPF is bush wrap. So yeah, we're staying with them and not looking to go any bigger anytime soon with that, because talking with other guys in the industry, Joe was a great insight the other week with the outlay of PPF, and I know everyone could talk about how expensive it is. So we'll see where that ends up, but I can't see it happening anytime soon, especially because I still work from home. So my garage sort of slash studio was slash man cave was never designed to do cars in, and it does look impressive, and that's what we've aimed for. And but yeah, it was never designed to what I do in, and it works. But we all wish it was bigger. Bigger is better sometimes. So not always, but yeah. That's pretty much it for products. I don't really I do buy a lot in bulk. Geon offer the 4 liters, which is good. I am experimenting with other APCs and stuff at the moment as well. So some products like Geon's not the be or end or of everything, but most of their stuff works for me, and that's sort of, I stick to what I know and I just keep running it. So yeah, if it does get bigger, then we'll have to probably bulk up in other bigger items. But at the moment, it's just all Geon for now. Detailing culture in Mount Gambier, so it's pretty good. I'm friends with a couple of other detailers. Sort of, these guys have been around a little bit. They all work from home as well. There's pretty much only 1 or 2 detailers in town that have an actual fixed location. So yeah, they're all. We get along. I do push work to them because I'm usually either too busy or away, and people are in a hurry. Or one thing that everyone will probably laugh at, that I don't offer shampoo interior services, so I don't even have an extractor. So I have been looking to get into one, but I don't know. What I get at the moment, I'm happy with, and I'm not sure if I want to expose myself to what we can get in with extracting. So I know people will be like, yeah, that's work, you just take it as part of detailing. But yeah, it is, but to me it's there's that many others in town, they can have the work, and I'll just stick to stay in my own lane with what I've got going on. So my focus is more sort of higher end sort of looking cars and clients, so that's sort of where I aim to be, and I think that's the name for me at the moment with what's going on. So I think it would be handy to have one every now and then when you finish your car off. That's sort of, you do everything except for that, and that's sort of the only missing part to the puzzle, that's finishing that car off. And sometimes, or a steamer is my next one, but I think at times you wish you did have one. I did have one back in the day. In DG Detailing, I had one, but we were dealing with a lot of farm utes back then, and I'm trying to steer away from that sort of market. But like I said, there's that many in town. Everyone else can have that work, and I'll just stick to corrections, coatings, and PPF. So, but yeah, like I said, with the coatings in town, everyone has sort of caught onto it. There's pretty much only, we've got our G Technic. We've obviously got one of them. Everyone's got one of them in town. And then there's a Fen Lab installer as well in town, and everyone else is sort of not really well known ones at all, and they don't really push it by the looks of it either. So that's all I push, and that's all I focus on, because that's my market. No one else is doing it. Nowadays, yes, everyone else is having a crack, but I'm sort of like the first one that started it, and I continue along with it. So I just want to keep that rolling, and be like the more experienced one installer in town. So that's sort of what I market for. And yeah, like, as much as I started from my share or garage, like everyone else did, and I'm still there, but I think the way we present ourselves compared to the others, I think we definitely look apart and are a bit different. So that's sort of what we trend for. New products in the industry. I can't say I studied this questions very much myself either. So I don't know. I'm pretty much, I think we always try and, probably one I think we always try and chase for is like the greatest single stage polish ever. I definitely still don't have it, but then again, I haven't tried too many others to try and chase it. So yeah, I think, I know there's a lot out there, and everyone will probably tell me what they're using shortly and stuff like that. I have ventured into, I did have the old 3D rep drop by recently and show me theirs, which was all right, but I don't know. I haven't bought any yet. I was sort of waiting until I finish what I've got and then go out from them. But in doing so, I've worked out the Geon primer is great on a different pad. So it's still a Geon pad that works really well on the polish pad. So not so much the finishing. So yeah, for a good single stage quick hit, that's what we use. But yeah, I think other than that, I don't know, coatings. It's quite interesting listening to Kent with the Titan coating. So that was, and why I probably kept going back at him about it at the time on the pod was I just hadn't heard of it. So I sort of was quite interested. I could have been living under a rock, but then talking to a few others, they hadn't heard it either. So it was sort of, that's what I was interested in about. So for those who thought I just kept honing back on that coating, I just never heard of it. So yeah, that's sort of why I was a bit interested. But it's good to hear new products. Obviously, there's so many. We're quite saturated with coatings and all their promises, but it's, yeah, as long as they work for you and easy of application, easy install. I think that's a big thing as well. So what could improve in the detailing industry in Australia? Good question. I actually thought the main reason for this pod was for that. We didn't have one. So I did hear a few others wanting to do one, and I just didn't jump on board and do one because no one was doing one. And I thought, I might as well do one because I listen to pods all day while detailing. So I thought, well, stuff it. I'll start it and we'll see where it ends up and go from there. But yeah, if anyone else is thinking of doing one, don't be afraid. Like, more the better, really. So yeah, I listened to quite a few overseas ones. So that's sort of what gave me the inspiration to do it. So pods I listened to from overseas, detailing ones. Shout out to Rennie Doyle. So I've listened to him. He's quite inspirational, and in his words, it's quite a different podcast. It's not just talking about similar stuff that we do or the others talk about. It's a lot about his experiences in the industry and what his thoughts are, and very inspirational of where he's been as well. It's like he's told his story a lot of times, but he's definitely an inspiration, and the jobs he gets, you could understand why with his experience. So he's definitely a cool one. So I love that one. Detail Solutions. So Alex, yeah, I listen to him. I sort of similar base myself around his sort of pod, a detailer, and then podcasting by night sort of thing. And yeah, he's killing it at the moment. He's punching out episodes like 2 a week. So that's crazy. And I'm struggling to even get one. So, which I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work. So it's nothing new. It's just, yeah, opening myself up to too many cans of worms with that one. But yeah, Alex is a great one. yeah, he's smashing it. Another one for up and coming guys would be the Detail Spot podcast. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stories on that one as well. He talks about the ins and outs and what to do and how to start up and this and that. We got the Reflection Artist Live Detail podcast, and probably the one that everyone would know or grew up with would be the Auto Detailing podcast with Jimbo. So yeah, it was a pretty good one. Yeah, he was a bit of an inspiration as well, and he just pumps out episodes flat out. Also over in the UK, I listened to the Pro Detailer podcast. So from the Pro Detailer mag, I believe. So I listened to that one. That's quite interesting. They have sort of a series, so they'll run so many episodes, bank a heap, and then you won't hear from them for a bit. So that's all right though. Their content is quite interesting from what goes over on the UK as well. So that's pretty good. And that's about it really from over there. There was a couple others, but I've sort of gone off them. They were more, they'd have some great topics and content, and then it all just went back to their products, and it was just a big push to pushing their own product. So I'm not really going to be like that. It's by all means, if you want to sponsor the pod, that's great. But yeah, this is not about me or my detailing. This pod is episode, but the whole pod was never about, for me, it was about the industry coming together and having a chat and exposing each other and telling what we do and what we don't do. And yeah, we're not here to bitch and whinge about it all. It's I don't want to be the voice. It's about, as I said, to Glenn the other day off the other episode, the recent episode, I don't want to be the voice. I'm not trying to be the voice. It's just I started it for everyone else to come on and speak their voice. So, and that's how I want to keep it running. So, yeah, but it is, like I say, it is an interesting world, the podcast world. So it's going pretty well. And I think I took a little bit to, at the time I had the name. I always wanted this name, and because it was about down under, and everyone relates to Australia being the land down under. So yeah, that's sort of why I banked that name and secured it in a few spots. And then once I got the logo, and then I had to sort out the Anchor side of things. So I distribute through Anchor and Spotify, and then we push it out to Apple and Google, I believe. So going pretty well. We've been so new though, it's hard to get sort of bigger companies online because we're quite new, and they're probably haven't really done many and don't know what the hell we're on about. So I get that, but it'd be also good advertising for them as well. So that's another thing. I think the pods are good for advertisement for your business and the detailing world as well, other products. So yeah, if you are thinking of wanting to come on as a brand, reach out to us, and be more than happy to have a chat. So, all right, quick drinks break. All right, what was your first ever detailing job? So for Aussie muscle car fans over here, what better way to start than a 2-door HQ Monaro candy apple red? So that was it. It was more like a drag car setup, but the guy wanted it done. He owned it, and hit it with the rotary. What else do you do? So what I know now, definitely wouldn't hit it with that. But we done the interior as well, and it was cool. Slapped my stickers on it for the local drag meets and stuff like that, and wasn't probably can't really remember how it turned out, but I think it was quite good. It was a pretty epic paint job for back in those days. It was pretty awesome, and still getting around now in that car as well. So which is cool. Favorite polishes, so I will I'm Rupes all the way. I have 3, so I got the Nano Hybrid, the Mini 75, LH75 and LHR 15 roops. So it's only Mark II. So very good machines. I think, haven't had too many dramas. I think my recent drama was I had a speed module issue with the 15. And shout out to Terry in Perth from Premium Polishing. So he deals with a lot of Rupes parts and stuff. So yeah, I was sort of like, I tried to get it fixed in town and they sort of had no idea. And once they told me it was a speed module, and then yeah, Terry sorted me out and yeah, sent some parts over, and yeah, bang, speed controller done. Cord was fine. So other than that, it's been bulletproof. The hybrid nano, that's an interesting tool. It has its place. Probably not as powerful as you'd probably want it. I probably want it a bit more powerful than what it is. I have heard there are others on the market powerful, but for me, that's fine. It is handy for some things. So yeah, my other backtracking now, back to business services. My other big deal is in motorbikes. So I do a lot of Harleys. There's a big scene down here of Harleys, and yeah, I do a lot of work with a dealer, so to speak. So yeah, a lot of pre-owned bikes come through the doors, and yeah, we do all the polishing and the chrome work, and we ceramic coat every bike. So all the metal work, all the tins, as we say. So the hybrid actually is awesome for them. So it isn't good, and it comes in quite handy, definitely to have. So, and considering back in the day, you just hit the rotary with the whole car. So I'm pretty honest, I hit the rotary with the whole car and nothing else, one or two pads, and that was it. You wouldn't do that these days. So you need sort of the mini and the hybrid to for all the little in between parts, especially on cars these days. So ceramic or PPF. So yeah, we always say they have their place, but I still probably prefer ceramic, because I think if you muck it up, you can just polish it, or if it flashes off, or you're having dramas with it, or flashes off and too quick for you or whatever, you can just polish it and go again. PPF, yeah, if you fail that, you're tearing up film, and then having to recut some, which I found out the other week. So yeah, we all make mistakes. So I definitely did the other week on a PPF job. So yeah, pretty much a door template. Yeah, trying to do everything on my own. Normally have my wife helping me, but at the time I thought I could do everything myself, and said I've got to learn to do it in case she's not here sometimes. But going forward, she'll be helping me for every panel, because yeah, it didn't end well. Pretty much trashed the door panel of film. Door was fine. The template of film was trash. So then I had to then go and cut another piece, and then that cut me short for the rest of the job. So lesson learnt. But ceramic, I think if it does fail on you, you can polish it and redo it. And I think PPF for stone chips and scratches, that's unbelievable, and that's only sort of taking off around here. Like it's heard of hugely in the cities area. In fact, as much as we're the largest city out of Adelaide in South Australia, but you talk about Adelaide, Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, everyone knows what PPF is there. And ceramic here, ceramic's taken off. PPF is still a bit unheard of. A lot of dealerships still don't know what it is. So that's quite interesting. So yeah, I think I'd still go ceramic. Best detailing tool or product. I know Paul mentioned the pressure washer. I'd probably have to go like a good vacuum cleaner as well. I think or dust extractor it could be. So yeah, I run the Festool at the moment. So that's been Festool dust extractor. That's been pretty impressive. So yeah, I think a good vacuum cleaner, can't say extractor because I haven't used many of the latest ones. So I think a good vacuum cleaner is also handy. So yeah, I'll probably settle on that one for now. But yeah. All right. Interests outside of detailing. Oh, where do I start? Probably I've probably already mentioned it, but I think I'm a fairly large motorsport fan of all sorts. So yeah, of F1, Aussie Supercar Series, MotoGP, Supercross, Motocross. Yeah, doesn't end. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to attend a lot of big events here and abroad. So probably my one to remember would be going to the Brickyard 400 for my 30th birthday. So that was pretty cool. Done the corporate thing, which we try and do at most times, only because I don't know, we run it through the business, and it's a good write off. But it's a good way to attend events, but only because I love a drink as well. Put two and two together, motorsport and beer, you can't go wrong. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, been to Singapore, F1 Grand Prix. That was epic. That was one to forget, not to forget. And yeah, been to Bathurst. Bathurst is pretty cool. Would go every year if I could, but yeah, I went 1 year and just been to other supercar events. The Gold Coast is definitely party town for a supercars event as well. Haven't seen any MotoGP live. Saw a lot of Supercross back in the day, and then yeah, rode some bikes when I was younger. But yeah, sort of fell away from that. But yeah, nowadays I got a Harley, so I ride that when I can. When the weather's warm, I'm too soft to ride it when it's cold. And typical FIFO, yes, I had jet skis. I've had 3 of them. I think they're awesome, but once I got the family, it makes it harder, and I haven't missed it since I sold the last one. So always a fan, but we'll see what happens in years to come. Other than that, not too much really. Just yeah, I'm into cars, but yeah, we've recently just bought a 69 Camaro we got that from Perth in WA. So always chase one, something a bit different, because everyone over here in Australia probably has a classic Holden, which nothing wrong. I had one when I grew up. So I just wanted something different. So yeah, we got that, and it's a great thing for the family. We put the kid seat in the back that's bolted in, and we go off and do car cruises and go here and there, and it's great. The young fella loves it. The old car, as we call it. So yeah, I'm still in the process of bringing that paint back to where it should be, as much as I've pumped 30 hours into it. There was some dramas with the paint, and we're getting it back to where it should be. So it's an ongoing project. It's definitely not how I want it or how it should represent as a detailer, but we're getting to it when I have time. So that's a massive drama at the moment. Time to try and punch into that car. But other than that, it's pretty tidy. We bought it. Yeah, we got it inspected. I didn't go and see it and test drive it, which everyone says you silly. But I buy a lot of cars from interstate, get them inspected and shipped back, and never had a drama since. So this thing stacked up, and it was from a private dealer, so it wasn't as bad. So it was through a dealer, so yeah, it wasn't a private sale. So if it was private, yeah, but yeah, it wasn't. So it ticked all the boxes once it got home. So probably not the color or the vinyl roof I would have thought I would have, but I think once you see it, it sort of all matches the era of the car, and I think it's perfect. The interior is mint. It has been restored, so that's helped. As a panel beater, I don't really want to touch cars anymore and rebuild them and sand them and sand bog back for days and stuff. You don't have time for that, and I'm not interested. So I'm just rather get them when they're painted and make them a lot more shinier. So other than that, that's pretty much me. But yeah, not too much else really. So I think you can probably understand that I have a lot going on, and then threw a podcast in between, which I knew the effects of it would be, but that's fine. We'll keep punching along, and that's where it helps if anyone listening wanting to come on can reach out, and we can schedule a time and have a chat, because yeah, it just makes everyone, and I know people want to keep listening to it, and that's that's the plan. So if I was full-time detailing, yeah, I'd probably wouldn't stress as much, but yeah, we'll see where it ends up. But I haven't really talked too much about my FIFO life. Anyone would think I'm a full-time detailer, which I am at the moment, but yeah, that's going to slide back a bit, but still be punching out large jobs, and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm running away from it and losing interest in the industry. It's probably doubling, more to the point. So yeah. All right. For anyone else wants to contact me, yeah, we're on Instagram. I do have an email, so that's attached in the show notes in the pod. So detailingdownunderpodcast@gmail.com, and we're on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook with that page. I am with my business and personal, but it's just another account to handle with, and Instagram's pretty cool. I don't mind that. And then I'm not on any groups or forums or anything. I steered away from them. I'm not even on the Geon certified forum or group anymore. I removed myself for it because that was not probably how it should be. So I was just like, nah, I'm out. So I'm on nothing. So, and I'm not going to join groups just to throw out this podcast and spam everyone with it, because that's not what I'm all about. So, yeah, I'm not going to probably start a group either, because everyone would just probably rip into each other or tell me what's wrong with me. You can message me and tell me, but yeah, it should be all positive, not negative. But if you know of anything that could help, reach out. I'm open for discussion, and yeah, but yeah, I'm not here to start forums and pay the shit out of each other. I think that's wrong, and that's where the industry's gone wrong, and that's where we need to steer away from. So other than that, I'll stop blabbering on about myself. But yeah, it was sort of I thought I'd better do something. People probably wonder where the hell I've come from. I am literally no one. It is what it is. But I just thought would get this out of a bit of a gap filler for an episode. And we do have some plans in future to probably just be more than one guest. So hope to get like Maddie Gibbs been messaging me of late and had some good ideas and wanting to we'll get a few of us on at the recording, so it's not just me and someone else. It might be 3 or 4 of us. So I think that's a great idea, which I'm all for. So if anyone else has some great ideas, reach out. Hope to get some more hope to get an international guest on as well. Timing will be another drama with that, but we'll work on that. Yeah. So yeah, there's a bit going on in my world, but other than that, it's still detailing in DPG and detailing down on the podcast still, so not slowing down. So all right, we'll wrap it up, and yeah, hopefully we'll have another guest for next week, which I do 100% will have. So I'm not going to push it towards anyone. I know there's some that want to come on, and we're just trying to align some time. So once that happens, we're all good. But yeah, I don't want to make it about me. All these episodes, I've got to stop doing. This will be the last one, so I promise, I'm sure. But I thought I'll rather than have someone interview me, I thought I'll just put it out and say what I'm all about and where this come from and started and what I do. And yeah, now I do some other stuff on the side, which is hectic, but yeah, it's interesting. It's never a dull moment. So, all right, we'll wrap it up, and yeah, keep listening and give us a rating and share to all the other detailing mates as well. And yeah, we'll keep it going and keep it all Aussie related, and then we'll venture out overseas and see who we can find. And yeah, but it's I'm loving it. It's awesome. We'll keep it happening. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Cheers, guys.
That was another episode of the Detailing Down Under podcast. Subscribe now for everything auto detailing in Australia.